Thank you, Debbie. I think it's really great that we're hearing from people about opportunities for kids with special needs. We hear from so many families that their kids don't have access to community programs or after-school programs. So this is really a unique opportunity to sort of have your child involved in things like music and dance and art, and to have their individual needs accommodated while they're in that program. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. So I would encourage as many parents that are looking for that type of activity for their child to talk to Debbie or to get her information before you leave. And the next presenter is also looking to provide us with opportunities through a foundation that he actually created on his own. So he's actually quite younger than I am, so the amount that he's already accomplished in his young life is quite amazing. But I'll let him tell you his own story.
Hi everybody, my name is Tim Enfield, and I'm a junior at UMass Amherst. I am the founder and I guess executive director of Think Alive Foundation, as cool as that sounds. What we do is we provide grants for extracurricular activities to disabled youth to pursue a passion they might have. And we do so in a very holistic manner. It's across disabilities and across activities, so long as they are aiming to better themselves and to better the community as a whole, and really embrace the idea that they can accomplish more and greater things. A little bit about the history of it. I founded it, I created it in 2010, 2 years ago, as a freshman at my prior university, Wake Forest, down in North Carolina. And it became a means for me to fill a void I saw. I have cerebral palsy myself, and I felt that a lot of the funding sources available to individuals with disabilities was so limited, you almost could never get it. It was very regularly, these family foundations put scholarships have scholarships available, but they're geographically based, they're age-based, they're disability-based, and it appeared as though there was a definite need for something that could help anybody, whether or not they had a specific disability or not, whether you were blind, deaf, whatever it might be. And so Think Alive is that. Furthermore, Think Alive is also designed to fill the void of extracurricular activities that so often can go under the radar and missed with the other expenses that parents and families might have with special needs children. And so that's the primary focus. In terms of what we've done, we've awarded 25 grants to date across actually 7 states, if you can believe that. These grants have gone to individuals with cerebral palsy, cystic fibrosis, epilepsy, what else? Muscular dystrophy. We actually just did a grant presentation up in Vermont on Saturday that went extraordinarily well. And these activities ranging from acting, drama, archery, sports, athletic, theater, art, you name it, as long as it's something to get them out, get them doing it in a manner that is extending themselves, we're all for it. That's the long and short of it. We brought up several team members around. Kenny Francis over there, and Dean Curran, and myself as well, are all open to answer questions. Please approach us. We're here to help you guys and help the community learn about how they can get involved and how they can fund activities that otherwise might not be accessible. Because there are wonderful opportunities, but we're hoping to expand and allow more people to do this. We have applications available here. We have packets for both in Spanish and English for individuals to take home read. We have a website, thinkalive.org, that would also provide additional information, and we have handouts that have all that information on that. So at this time, I'd like to hopefully just open it up to questions, because as the organization itself, we really want a two-way dialogue to create collaborative activities and really get input both ways so that we can develop something special together. And are there any questions that we can start off with? Sure.
What is the current age? It says disabled youth.
Yeah, so disabled youth to us is 21 and under. So and we've had grants awarded. Actually, Chrissy was our youngest. We awarded a grant to Chrissy Gately over at the Henderson Inclusion School about a year ago now, and it was a very special thing. She was 5 and a half at the time, I believe, and so we funded individuals anywhere between. Our oldest at this point has been 20. But realistically, as long as, that's the age range, but primarily our most common is between 10 and 15, but as long as they're trying to grow, there's no issue, no preference within that age.
What's the range in the size of the grants or the average?
Yeah, so the range is between $100 and $500 in size. We've developed special programs with the Amherst CPAC and out our way where we've capped it at 150, and for individuals, it all there's no limit as long as there's a defined need, up to $500 we will fund it, or we'll look at it at least. Obviously, not everybody can receive our grants due to our size. It's a small organization, but we're looking. We've got it all set up that way. Any other initial questions? All the way in the back, yeah.
Can siblings apply simultaneously to the same grant?
We've had that in the past, and if they're both valid, of course they can both apply. That's never been actually had that instance before, but there's nothing to say why not. So I don't see. Go ahead again.
You said valid. What determines validation?
Well, as long as essentially, as long as it is basically what we define as our grant process. So it is the selection committee and I. Well, I'm on the selection committee, but it's the board of directors of our organization. What we look for a grant which is primarily dictated through the individual, meaning it's something they truly want to do and would like to explore themselves if they can, obviously. And then the activity is somewhat challenging for them. We often look at learn more about the individual and see where they're at. We really want to, in the application process, connect with the applicants and their parents to really understand the individual before we grant them an award. And then, it's those are our two primary focuses at this point. We have a formal point system, more or less, that does not that doesn't require it's not dictated via the age, or there's no point system depending on whether you have a specific disability. So that issue was brought up earlier today, actually, in another conversation. Do we say, because you're this disability and we've never funded that disability, does that mean that you get an extra point? No, there's nothing of that sort. Do you have another question?
What's the grant cycle and what is your website that they work on?
Yeah, so it's thinkalive.org is the website itself. And our grant cycle is a rolling basis. So the idea too for me was, well, I don't want to wait till the next deadline, because if I want to do it now, I need to capitalize on that success. I need to capitalize on that enthusiasm before it goes away. Because for me, if it was a time when, I went through a lot of phases in what I wanted to do, and if I got behind something, I would carry it further. But if there was any snag in the road, I've given up, and that's not what we want to have happen with these individuals. We want them to pursue and be able to pursue as much as they can.
So then what is the typical turnaround time? Once you get an application, how long does it take?
Yeah, sure. So we usually take 2 to 3 weeks on average, up to, depending honestly on college schedules, how that goes. It can take up to a month, but that's about that we don't let it get beyond that, because by bringing it further than that, then it is a situation where you forget about it and it doesn't become a pertinent goal or grant, or it just loses its value. That period. Any other initial questions I can answer right now? Sure.
Is there a one-time only application? So if someone's awarded a grant once, may apply again?
Potentially, yes. We have yet to award that situation. We've never had that situation come up yet. But what we would like to do is, if they continue to take the next step and advance, or at least develop in some manner, then yes, we would take that into account and allow for additional funding for the same person. Any other initial questions? Otherwise, please feel free to come up to us. You know, as I said, there's three or four of us here that can answer any questions, and please come up to us. I appreciate your time so very much.
Absolutely fabulous and very much needed, especially by our community. So the fact that there are opportunities for grants to help children actually, explore opportunities that they're interested in, that they might not otherwise have access to except for such a grant, I think it's a wonderful foundation, and we're truly appreciative that it exists. And Tim actually reached out to us, which, that's just incredible that he said that he wanted to be involved with Boston families and help where he could. So thank you very much for the opportunity, Tim, and we appreciate your being here.